Thomas, Bill Anderson, and Kenny Parker. Brought to you by First Bank of Shelbyville. And Kincaid Service Company. Let's talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David Thomas, Bill Anderson, and Kenny Parker.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Bedford County Sports Live. And your sponsors today, First Bank and Kincaid
Service Company.
I'm Bill Anderson, Kenny Parker, Jason Boyette, David Thomas. Where is that guy?
On the road again.
I think he is.
On the road again, but he's on his way back.
On his way back.
Probably freshly tanned.
Yep.
About to hold the fort down until David gets back. Well, let's hear a special break from our sponsors, and we're going to get back and talk some high school athletics. We'll be right back.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk a little high school sports. Kenny Parker, what's on your head?
Man, I tell you, just hair grew during that commercial.
David Thomas will appreciate this one. He loves the dreads.
David likes my dreads, so.
Hey, let's talk a little high school athletics. We'll start off. The big story this week is, sadly, a good friend of ours, me and you, Jason, a friend of the show, Robbie Davis, no longer the coach at Community High School. Going to miss the guy. 13 years, 196 wins. 4 sub-state appearances, 4 regional finals, and a state tournament. He made the Final Four that year because he won a game there. He won the Final Four of the state, and that was just a few years ago. Going to miss Coach Davis.
I hate to see him stepping down. He's been a big part of community.
Oh, yeah.
The whole school, the baseball and softball, basketball. That's going to be a big miss, but I have a feeling we probably see him around some more.
Oh, I do too.
I don't think.
Yeah, 13 years, that's a good run.
13
that's
years.
A great run.
And
196 wins, so 4 sub-state, 4 regions, and a state Final Four.
If you do the math, that's like 14 wins a year, so that's pretty good.
And, what's tough at community and has been, maybe it'll change, is you have to do things with none or very little assistant coaches. And in Robbie's case, he really didn't have any assistants and weren't volunteers.
Right.
That makes it tough in basketball, football, whatever it is.
And you get cycles where you just don't have the same athletes every year. You get some, and I hate to miss that. That was a shock to me. I really didn't see that one coming.
Hopefully, we'll have Coach Davis back on during the draft here soon because Robbie's always a hoot on here. He does a great job.
He's a draft junkie.
Absolutely, he's right up there with me and you almost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, let's talk a little basketball. Tough for the whole region with Shelbyville. They lost to Nolensville, got knocked out 62-30. But the entire region struggled with their district.
Yeah.
Centennial
in the boys.
In the boys.
In the boys.
Centennial 48, Lincoln County 30.
Right.
Coffee County 33, Independence 60. Franklin 64, Warren County 40.
Which caused the boys part of the region to go back to, I don't think Coffee was able, because that district swept the region, all the boys' games went back to where their district tournament site was.
Right.
And the girls, Coffee.
That doesn't happen very often.
Right. I'm glad we're not in that district.
You got all 4 of them. So obviously that district was very, very, very tough.
That district was tough.
All right, talk a little bit about Cascade. March 3rd, of course, they played Summertown 42-33. The girls went down, but the girls played well.
I'm telling you, I was at the game, and the girls were beating Summertown, and it was going really good, and they were playing really well. They were up by like 6 points. And they had a young lady shot a 3, and when it did, it looked like it went about halfway down and came back out. And I said, when I see stuff like that, I said, and from that point on, but they battled and Summertown's got a really good ball team. So they made some improvements this year also.
Sure did. Cascade boys lost to Mount Pleasant 78-45. Kind of saw that one coming too. That was tough.
Yes.
And the Loretto community met boys and girls. The girls 45-27 over community, and the boys beat community boys 65-32 to end their season. Now,
go ahead.
One team left.
Yeah.
In Bedford County.
Mm-hmm.
It's Webb girls.
Webb girls. They play tonight for the big marble.
It's for all of it, isn't it? It's the finals.
At Cookville.
Who are they playing tonight?
Tonight they're playing Kings Academy. That's kind of Sevier County. They beat USJ yesterday or last night, 64-57. University School of Jackson's tough.
Yeah.
Double overtime.
That's a big win.
Double overtime.
So how many state tournaments have these girls won out at Webb? They've won the last couple, haven't they?
You know, we say that one year Webb couldn't win inter-squad scrimmage.
No, you're right.
And the next year they walked through the state, and since then they've been playing. And their best girl is playing at Bradley Central now.
That's true. I forgot about that. She did.
Transferred 2 years ago to Bradley Central. So.
I heard that mentioned on the radio today. Well, and Webb's had a great year. The boys had a nice year too. They got put out earlier, but the Webb girls going for a state championship, and we wish them the best of luck up in Cookville.
Yep.
Baseball. Let's hit on it a minute. 2 big games around here. Webb beat Tullahoma 8-7 in their first game of the year.
And that's Scott Hall's coaching at Webb. Scott Hall, and they went to Oakland the other day and lost a close ball game to Oakland. Webb did, but
and historically, Tullahoma's always been a big baseball program.
They've won several state championships.
But I don't know how many baseball
they were missing
players because their basketball team won the region.
Yeah, their boys
basketball team won the region.
Still, it's Webb and it's Tullahoma.
It's Webb and Tullahoma. It should be.
It didn't matter. That's a huge win for Webb. And then the Cascade boys, Kenny, you were telling me, pulled off a gigantic upset.
They opened. I asked Coach. Drawing a blank. Sheffield. I said, Coach Sheffield, what are you doing? Opening up with Eagleville, 3-time state champion. He said, got to see what we got, Coach. Got to see what we got. We're going to play the goods. And they beat them 12-2.
Wow. Big win for Cascade baseball.
12-2.
Now, before we talk a little college, what do we got on softball? That's starting up here soon.
Softball starting up. I was hoping tonight. I mean, I could elaborate, but all my games got canceled last week. But I will see by next Saturday, I will have seen all the high school teams in the county. I got Cascade this week. I've got Cheville this week. I've got Harris Middle School this week. I got Cascade Middle School this week. So be able to elaborate a little bit more. I had Webb for Wednesday, but it got canceled. So it's time to go.
The Cheville boys open their season Monday against Murfreesboro Central Magnet up here. And the Cheville boys with the Bobo boys and that group, they could be pretty good this year.
Pretty good.
That would be really good. Coach Robbie Davis, baseball, they got the Monarchs that we talked about.
Monarchs,
right?
Yeah.
Home school team.
I think they lost a game last night to Fayetteville City, I believe.
That's what I heard, but I didn't get a score on it.
I'm not sure on
I couldn't find any scores.
Was that Monarchs or
Community.
Community?
I think they played. We don't know what the score was. Same thing with Cheville Rockville. I just don't know what the score is, but I think the softball, we got beat last night, but I couldn't find the score this morning on Coach T.
Maybe Robbie will send it in here in a minute.
Everything's really, kicking up here pretty quick.
It's time to go. Hey, and next week is going to be a great week.
Yes.
To be outside watching your local teams play, because it's going to be in the 60s, some days even the 70s.
Something one day.
We're going to take a break, come back, talk college basketball, but I do want to mention that the University of Tennessee baseball team defended national champion 13-0 again this year and ranked number 2, and they have been.
And you see what they did last night?
Yes. Again.
They pitched a no-hitter.
A no-hitter last night.
But the other day, did I not read where they hit like 3 grand slams
in the same game?
In one game. One game. Yeah.
How does that? Wow.
I mean, they're rolling people right now.
He got the fur. Hey, he's wearing the fur coat right now.
Yeah, he is. What was the term they used for that? The daddy coat.
Yeah,
I think that's what they call it. They did that.
He's got it going on.
Oh, they really do. It's phenomenal what Tennessee baseball's doing. Let's take a break. We'll hear from First Bank, and we'll also hear from Kincaid
Service
Company.
We'll be right back.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
All right, it's March. That means basketball, guys. March Madness is here.
March is here.
Now, we had a big game up in Knoxville last Saturday. But if you all didn't get a chance to watch it, it can go back on YouTube or wherever and watch this game. Tennessee and Alabama, 6 versus 5. Buzzer shot by Jamal Meshack. That's as excited as a game as I've ever watched.
And Alabama led probably 35 of the 40 minutes.
Oh, sure.
They led most of the game.
Tennessee may have had the lead 2 or 3 times the whole time.
Yeah.
Then Meshack hits that shot from way deeper in NBA range. It was closer
35
to
foot.
It was nothing but net. Big win for Tennessee basketball. Vandy basketball, Jason Boyd, your other team, your secret other team. Hey, big win over Missouri in overtime. Had a buzzer.
But I called that last week.
You did.
I said
it's
Vanderbilt
hard
win.
to play Memorial Gym.
It is hard to play that.
And Missouri's your underdog.
That's my underdog for all of it. They beat them 97-93.
Memorial Gym, though, didn't they?
It was tough because, again, that was a game where Missouri had kind of controlled the game, much like Alabama. Yeah. And then Vanderbilt at the end made the plays.
Yeah. I know the SEC tournament's in Nashville this weekend.
Yes.
You think Vanderbilt's going to try to get the games pushed to Memorial instead of...
They would probably help them quite a bit. But I don't think they'll let them do it.
I don't think it will either.
The other big upset was Texas A&M beat number 1 Auburn 83-72 this week. I didn't see that coming.
I think there's something to the Broom injury. I'm afraid he's hurt more than we know.
They're so deep. I don't think it'll matter.
Is that their big guy?
Pearl goes about 12 deep.
Oh, it matters if he's not there.
They ain't the same team without him.
Now Arkansas went in and beat Vanderbilt handily at Memorial Gym Wednesday night, 90-77. And Florida beat Alabama. So Alabama's on a streak right here, 99-94. It's going to be interesting to see. And Tennessee lost to Ole Miss. I'll mention that, which was a bad loss for Tennessee because that was a game Tennessee had in hand and gave it away at the end.
Yeah.
But you're sitting here now saying Tennessee's a 1 seed, guys, and I guess they are. How's Florida not a 1 seed?
I think they flopped. I'm afraid Florida will get the 1 and we'll get the 2.
Because I don't see any way that there's 4 SEC teams being the 4 top seeds.
I know.
I just don't see that happening. But it should, but I don't see it happening.
4 SEC teams being 4 top.
That was one thing Lenardi had out for a while. Well, Duke will be in there.
Duke's going to get one of them.
Alabama won't be one of them. Who's the other 3?
Florida and Tennessee. So I don't even see how that happens because I think Houston's in there in the mix too.
Yeah, I can't say. I'd say 2, but
Is it easier going in as a 2 seed though without that bullseye on your back?
I would like Tennessee to be the 1 seed because they've never been
the 1 seed. I agree.
I
want it, but I would. It might be easier to be the 2 seed.
Now this sets up an interesting thing with the expanded Southeastern Conference, where the tournament's not like it used to be. So the first 4 teams in the SEC get a double bye. So they're only going to play a maximum of 2 games. So before, where you want to rest your guys,
right. Well, who are those 4?
It's going to be
are they
Tennessee, Florida. It will be Auburn, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. Unless Tennessee were to lose to South Carolina today.
We have to win today for sure, I would think.
Right. Yeah. But I would assume that Tennessee should take care of business at home against South Carolina today. So that would be your double buys. And this may prevent people from sitting players.
Now those 4 may go for it now.
You may say, let's just go for it because I don't have to play 4 games. I'm only having to play 2 games. Yeah. And I think that may be a difference in the way the tournament's set up where you don't.
I like it like that.
I do too because before we've seen.
You should get rewarded for playing well out here.
Right. And 100%. You should play to win the game, play to win a championship. And but I saw
the other side. To win the championship.
I saw the other side of it. If you were in the quarterfinals and had to go play 4 straight games going into the NCAA tournament. But now that they've changed this double bracket, it may change the way they play. But today is the last regular season game. Vanderbilt's at Georgia, Mississippi State at Arkansas, Kentucky at Missouri. That ought to be interesting.
That's a good game. Yeah.
South Carolina at Tennessee, Ole Miss at Florida, and the big game, Alabama and at Auburn. Iron bowling basketball.
Yep.
That one's going to be interesting. Mention the women's real quick. Tennessee beat Texas A&M 77-37. And then Jason Boyd at second school, Vanderbilt beat the UT women 84-76 and knocked Tennessee out.
I think I saw or heard only the first time Vanderbilt's ever beat the Tennessee women twice in the same year.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up, David, or Kenny, but I appreciate it.
No, nothing like.
But you know what? South
I
Carolina.
was kind of hoping we could go without talking about that.
South
and Kenny brought
Carolina
it
took
up,
care
and
of them the next game.
They sure did.
They did. That's right.
Big time.
Mitch and Coach Insel right up the road here
Yeah.
had his worst loss of the season this week to Liberty, 61-42. They were down 33 at one point. They just
Wow.
didn't show up the other night.
Was that at Liberty or at Middle?
It was at Liberty.
Yeah,
The MTSU boys played the Liberty boys, and Liberty beat MTSU 86-81.
Lost a close one there. I saw
It was
that.
close, but the girls' game was not close, and it's
And
negative
Conference USA starts middle of the week.
here. Yes.
And that's South Carolina. I think they're
I
playing.
think they play in Huntsville, don't they? I think they play somewhere in Huntsville.
I thought it was Alabama
girls.
too, Huntsville. The girls
Okay.
play there, and I think the boys may play in Greensboro.
The
South
girls
Carolina.
actually play today at Middle Tennessee at Florida International today at 12 o'clock. So
and the
regular
boys play
season's
that
got
day.
one more game.
One more game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this sets up, of course, as we know, MTSU has to win their tournament to get
Yeah.
into the
Right.
NCAA.
And you got Liberty, who
You got to worry
definitely,
about that one.
yeah. And Western Kentucky's girls are good too.
Mhm.
So that was a tough loss because
It was.
the way they lost, because you don't blow MTSU women's
No.
basketball
Yeah.
out. It doesn't happen.
I agree.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the NFL a little bit. And there's been a bunch of things
Wow.
happen in the
Little
last
bit,
24
little
hours.
bit.
We'll be right back.
Incade Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
Titans just signed Jones.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's talk a little NFL right here on Bedford County Sports Live. Coach Kenny Parker and Jason Boyette, David Thomas traveling.
Behind the wheel.
I'm sure he's not watching the show driving. Is he?
I hope not. I hope not.
Probably got his phone right there in the dash.
Probably got. Yeah, let's hope not.
Got it on Bluetooth audio.
I don't think Joan would have for that.
Kenny, you changed hats. What happened? We get to the NFL, and the best part of the show's gone. You already had a haircut.
Y'all clipped my wings.
How'd you do that? That was magic.
Just sucked them back in.
Guys, big news in the NFL this week. If y'all have noticed, is the salary cap real?
No.
I mean,
yes,
and
yes, and no. But I've read something this week, and you've been bringing it up quite a bit with Cleveland about the quarterback and his big cap hit. It's not going to be that
They
bad.
restructured it.
No, insurance. I didn't realize they had a major insurance policy on that deal. And if you're hurt and don't get to play, the insurance pays that cap money, so you save it.
Well, they restructured his
And
deal to
they've
save $36 million.
But there's something in that insurance policy.
I think it gives them back the money, but I don't think it helps you with the cap.
I'm
But
not
look what
sure.
Dallas just did. Dallas was at the bottom. They restructured Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and they freed up $57 million. They're ahead of the
What's that do
Titans
for
in cap
Micah
money.
Parsons?
Well,
What
you
they
know
gonna do
what?
with him?
Well,
We're just moving money.
You move it back, and it gets back end heavy.
Yeah.
And then what happens in 2 or 3 years? Like Landry 2 or 3 years ago signed his deal. His contract getting back end heavy, so they ask him to redo, and he says no. So he's on the road. That's the way.
That
that's
saved
going
the
to happen.
Titans about $10 million in the cap, but it saved Amy Adams from writing a $17.5 million check to him on March the 10th, which was his guaranteed salary.
Hey, going back to
13
Cowboys,
million,
what about Micah Parsons? Are they going to have to let him go?
No, they'll be able to sign him now because they got all this cap.
They got
money.
enough to. They got enough.
Yeah,
to do
they
it?
got
Okay,
enough.
all right.
They just got $57 million.
And they know how to restructure.
They got their new coach.
So now they have.
and be
They
able-
went from $3 million under the cap to $54 million plus.
got
by
their
restructuring two
all-star
players.
coach, some players.
Oh yeah, Schottenheimer's going to let it roll. Well, the Titans had dropped all the way to 15th in salary cap by cutting Landry. They jumped back up to the top 6. Now we got $61 million. It's like monopoly money. It's not
It
real.
is. It is.
But don't waste because you got it. Don't waste it going out and getting somebody you think. Have we been hurt? Has the Titans been hurt doing that?
Oh, yes.
So don't go out and spend it just because you got it. Don't let it be what's that? What they used to call that money burning a hole in your pockets.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't let it do that. Be smart with it. Still work to build your team in the draft.
Well, the big trade that's going to affect the quarterback market was Geno Smith last night goes from the Seahawks to the Raiders for a third-round pick. Does that mean the Raiders are out of the quarterback market?
No.
I don't think so either. But it does mean the Seahawks probably have something done with Mr. Sam Darnold. Before that, you talk about tampering. I would say this deal's done, and within 1 minute of free agency opening, he'll be a Seahawk.
He's probably already got the moving van in the front yard.
That happens all the time.
Sure.
Absolutely.
That happens all the time. The big thing is if you're interested in that, let the big money go the first 2 days and then be smart with your money.
What was interesting is DK Metcalf demanded a trade earlier in the week, and you wonder now if it's because he saw Geno Smith was fixing to be traded.
Yeah, I wonder that.
I wonder that too.
Yeah.
But
Geno
is Sam Darnold an upgrade over Geno Smith?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
I think so, don't you?
If it's the same Sam Darnold I saw the last 2 weeks of the season that couldn't handle the blitz that had some Will Levis qualities.
Are we getting the regular season Sam Darnold or the postseason?
I have never forget when he saw Ghost against the Patriots when he played for the Jets. Yeah. Remember that? He's throwing all those picks. Well, I just see Ghost.
Yeah.
I think he did really well because the coach with the Vikings does a nice job of scheming things, and you had Justin Jefferson. You got those other receivers there.
Yeah.
I don't know that he
should have went to the Bears in.
I don't know that he's a.
If Darnold gets out of the way, though, that makes the Giants and some of those people more quarterback hungry.
And yes, because now the quarterback market's changing.
And will Metcalf want to stay with Seattle?
That's a good question because I think he wants out now.
He wants a lot. He said what he wants.
But the team wants one
first and a third.
That's what the team
ridiculous. And the pickup is and he's only got 1 year before it has to be registered.
I don't even know if they could get a first.
No,
definitely not getting a first.
That's more than he was like.
And honestly, does the guy stay available like you would want for somebody to pay that kind of money? He misses a lot of time. He stays hurt.
And about the only thing I know about DJ Metcalf is he hawked the one guy on the pick. That's about the only thing
that was impressive.
That was impressive. He's playing offense. He's playing defense.
Yep.
Well, it'll also be interesting as teams continue to release people to free up cap space. The Chargers released Joey Bosa, saved a ton of money. Now the Chargers have $90 million to spend. Look for Devonta Adams, who the Jets just cut, saved $38 million. I think he'll wind up with the Chargers.
He wants to go back that way.
He wants to go back west. It gives Herbert a really good weapon. Makes a lot of sense. And I look for Khalil Mack to re-sign with the Chargers now.
I do too.
If they let Joey Bosa go.
Let's see. The Chargers, where do they pick? They're picked 22.
20. Yeah, they picked right for Green Bay. Yeah.
Any chance they move up and try to get that running back, Genty? They need a running back.
No, they could, but I don't know that Harbaugh values running backs that way. I think he would rather just rotate 4 or 5 of them if he could.
Yeah, he might.
And he's good at picking them too. I don't know that he would want a prima donna running back. And the next question is, as much as I think of the running back from Boise State, they keep telling me, or I keep reading, this kid from North Carolina, Hampton, may be better than him.
Yeah, they may wait.
There's a lot of running backs in this draft, a lot of edge rushers,
running backs,
a lot of running backs. But we just saw that Saquon Barkley just got a huge deal from Philadelphia. The Eagles just keep spending, folks.
And they're going to be, they got to be back in somewhere.
Oh yeah,
they're back in the back end of the.
They may have figured this out more than others. They go ahead and redo you early, and don't wait. And it seems like they've still got cap money this year.
Yeah,
they seem to know how to manipulate the cap better than other teams do.
And you got to learn how to do that.
Well, we'll just have to see, guys, because I'm just not sure. Trey Smith was franchised by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then they released their left tackle, Tooney. They're all pro and traded him away. So the Bears made 2 trades this week for guards. Kansas City, I love Mahomes, but what are you going to do without your left tackle? You got some line work to do now.
Yeah,
and the line wasn't very good last year.
They weren't very good.
And I don't know that Trey Smith is good as I know he went to Tennessee, but is he a franchise player? He didn't look like in a playoff.
That's just what's that tell you? They were desperate. They didn't want to lose him.
Yeah,
because if you lose him, you got to replace him, and
he is young.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He is still young.
The Tooney guy was 32. I could see moving on from him.
This is Smith's. Is this his first Would this be his second contract?
Second contract. This
So
was
there
on
you
his
go.
rookie deal, the end of the rookie deal. But the
Yeah.
franchise tag's like $21 million for a guard.
But still.
So what are the Titans
Okay.
going to do?
Well, if they stay and pick at 1, I hope they take the quarterback from Miami. I'll just go on and say,
And
I hope they won't do it.
he's been coming up the board.
Yeah,
There's
if
a
we
lot
can
of-
trade down, I'm fine with that too. But it needs to be a good trade down.
I agree. If you're going to stick, you got to take Cam Ward. But I'd rather slide back,
But I want something for
accumulate some picks.
that. I mean, I want a second, a third, and maybe next year's 1.
Yeah.
I want a King's ransom.
I don't. But is he that good? That's the thing.
Does someone else think he's that good?
That's all that matters. Does somebody else think he's that good? And
Mm-hmm.
The drop off from him to Sanders now, I think, is
No,
sizable.
I do too.
And we've talked about Titans got to play poker.
Yep.
They got to play poker. They got to let everybody know, hey, man, that's my man. I wouldn't even bring up the Carter dude's name.
But if you're really serious about,
I wouldn't even bring his name up. I wouldn't even bring up the kid from Colorado. I'm all in. I'm all in on Ward. I'm all in. So somebody might come up and say, well, they're going to do it now.
if you're really rebuilding and looking for picks, who's to say you don't trade with the Giants, then trade down again?
And that very well could happen.
Yeah.
Trade down twice.
I still say the safest player in the draft is Travis Hunter.
I agree.
The guy's going to be good.
I think he's probably the best player in the
He's going to be a good player. Everyone else has a question mark. Travis Hunter, he has no question marks with me. He's good.
I was looking at something the other day, talk about how we talk about all these number one picks and how many of them don't ever make it.
Oh, it's a lot.
There's a lot of them.
Don't ever make it.
Nope.
And, I've always heard you win your draft in the third day now. Rounds 4 through.
But the NIL
7.
makes that harder to do because a lot of these guys that would have come out of
They're
those
older.
rounds are
They're
staying because of NIL.
Yeah, they're older and
What was Travis Henry's
A lot of-
NIL deal? Wasn't it $7 or $8 million in Colorado? It was ridiculously high. I saw it this week. It was $7 million plus. It was the
not-
most for anybody non-quarterback.
Yeah.
But he's a special player.
Yeah.
The question is he a wide receiver? Is he a DB? Because I don't know in today's NFL, can you really play both?
I think he can.
I
Champ,
think he could
Champ
too.
Bailey
I think
says
he
no.
can.
Champ Bailey come out and said you can't do it.
I think he can spot play.
I do too.
Not every down.
So he would be a
Not every
DB
down.
and then spot play on offense.
10 or 12 plays on offense.
But is he
Even
not
as
the
a
best
decoy.
receiver? Is he not the best receiver in
He's
the draft
probably
too?
the best. Probably.
I had a coach tell me when I was young coaching. He said you got to play kids on offense. You got to play kids on defense. Now, sometimes you're playing a kid on defense that's not as good as somebody on offense. That would really be you don't just put your best 11 on offense and your best 11 on defense. You got to spread it out. But there's going to be times in the game when it's important and you're on offense and you take that defensive player that's better than this offense and you put him in and vice versa. And I think that's what we're going to see with Hunter.
He's a
I
special
think
player. There's no
you're
doubt.
going to see, they always talk about two quarterbacks got this package for them, two tight ends got this package for them. I think you're going to see whoever drafts Hunter are going to have specific packages for Hunter when he comes in on offense, when he comes in on defense.
I'd like to slide back to 4 or 5 and take Hunter. That's my. And Coach Robbie Davis just texted in and said he'd like to take Hunter. If he was the Titans, he'd take Hunter. You
That's
stick
best
with the
player in
pick. Yeah.
Mhm.
Best player in draft.
Most
Yeah.
secure.
Yep. I don't think you're not going to miss on him. He's going to be special.
Mm-hmm.
But you still need a quarterback.
Still gonna need a quarterback.
And I'll be honest with you. I think some of these second-tier quarterbacks, the kid from Ole Miss,
Jackson Dart.
one that we're sleeping on is one from Louisville.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
really good.
Syracuse McCord. I like
I
him.
think the Texas quarterback can play. I think there's some other quarterbacks that, again, you don't have to break your bank to try to get.
Kind of like the
them.
Broncos did with Bo Nix. I
Mhm.
mean,
Ultimately, I'd still like to see Justin Fields with the Titans.
I'd take a flyer on Justin Fields.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not so sure he goes back to Pittsburgh because they won't guarantee him to be the starter.
I don't want Russell Wilson.
Well,
I'll take
and
Justin
that's
Fields. I
just the
don't
big
want
thing.
Russell
We were talking about Geno Smith. this takes Russell Wilson out of going to the Raiders, where that's where I thought he was going.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd rather have Fields just because of the age.
Right. And
He might
think
still
Fields
be
can
good
play.
on down the road.
I do. Well, guys, let's wrap it up for the week. And congratulations to Webb. And let's hope they win a state. It'd be nice to have a good state championship.
That's hour and a half. They played at 11 o'clock.
And we'll be back here next week. We'll be talking baseball and March Madness and the SEC tournament.
Oh, it's a great time of year.
Oh, it is,
It's
isn't
a
it?
great time of year.
And by this time next week, girls state championships will be going on.
Yeah.
Right. All right, everybody. We'll be back right here next week. Special thanks to First Bank right here in Shelbyville and Kincaid.
Service.
Company.
You call them.